3 teenagers are in jail without bond, charged with killing a 12-year-old girl.
Those suspects made their first court appearance today, arrested 3 days after police say they shot Emily Haddock. The suspects are 16, 18, and 19 years old. The 12-year-old victim was home sick from school on Friday. Police say the teens broke in to rob the place. She lived in Cameron in Moore County. We learned today 2 of the suspects lived on the same road as Haddock. Brian Mims is live tonight in Hope Mills, where family and friends gathered for Emily's funeral. Brian?
David, about 500 people showed up for Emily's funeral here at Hope Mills First Baptist Church this afternoon. As for the 3 suspects, they are scheduled to appear in court again tomorrow, but the time has not been released because of security concerns. We did some checking into the backgrounds of these young men and found this is not their first run-in with the law. 19-year-old Sherrod Harrison said nothing as sheriff's deputies led him to jail Monday night. Court records show he had been in jail before for 3 felony breaking and entering charges in 2005 and a second-degree burglary charge. 18-year-old Michael Curry also has a rap sheet, 2 counts of misdemeanor larceny in 2006 and 2 counts of unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. These 2 teens, along with 16-year-old Van Roger Smith, are now charged with murdering 12-year-old Emily Haddock. They're accused of busting into her home on Marks Road, intent on robbing it, but were unaware anyone was inside. Investigators say when they saw Emily, they shot her. Smith and Harrison live 6 miles away on the same road.
Hey, can we talk to you for a moment?
Nobody answered when we knocked on their doors. The father of the 3rd suspect said he wasn't ready to talk. As the teens sat in jail, hundreds of mourners packed the Hope Mills First Baptist Church for Emily's funeral. Rick Parker is a family friend.
I got 3 kids and 5 grandkids. I couldn't imagine if anything would happen to one of my kids like that.
He says it was one emotional service.
Everybody's crying. It's sad. The preacher can't hardly preach. You know, do his sermon. It's just hard for words. It's really hard for words.
Moore County Sheriff's deputies have seized what they believe to be the murder weapon, a .22 caliber handgun. Sheriff's deputies in Harnett County seized it during a traffic stop. They say it was stolen Thursday and have charged the driver, 19-year-old Perry Ross Shiro, with burglary and possession of stolen property. He has not been charged in connection with the murders. Again, the 3 murder suspects remain in Moore County Jail tonight with no bond. Back to you, David.
Brian, you mentioned earlier about the timing of tomorrow and saying there were security concerns. Have there been threats made against these young men?
We have heard some rumblings in the courthouse that there have been some threats. We don't have anything official about there being threats, but this case has generated a lot of emotion and animosity. So court officials are taking all the precautions they can.
Brian Mims live in Cumberland County. Thanks, Brian.
This news at noon starts now.
Good afternoon. I'm Bruce Kopp in for Scott Swan. 2 men are charged with murder in the killings of a 7-year-old girl and her uncle. One of the suspects was close friends with the family in Cumberland, and today everyone wants to know the motive behind the deadly shootings. Eyewitness News reporter Emily Longnecker joins us live from the Marion County Jail. Emily?
Yeah, Bruce, everyone wants to know why, especially the Crane family. But at this point, no one is talking, not police and not the prosecutor. And it's likely that we will not know a possible motive until perhaps Wednesday when Michael Bell and Jeremy Priel are formally charged. For now, the 2 are in the Marion County Jail while police pore over all the information they've collected, preparing and outlining their entire case against these 2 men. Here's what we know about them from police records. Bell was charged and later acquitted of raping a fellow student at Warren Central High School in 2007. Bell was also accused in 2004 by another female student of sexual assault. He was never charged, though. Police say Bell turned himself in early yesterday morning. Now, later yesterday, a SWAT team surrounded an Eastside apartment complex and arrested 25-year-old Priel. According to police reports, Priel was arrested in October for allegedly beating up his live-in girlfriend. Now both Bell and Priel are in jail and will be charged with the murders of 7-year-old Kylie Crane and her 21-year-old uncle Jeremy. Police say the little girl and her uncle were shot to death inside the Crane home last Monday. The Crane family told us after the arrests yesterday they were relieved but deeply hurt. According to the family, Michael Bell was one of Jeremy Crane's best friends. The two went to high school together, and Bell even stayed with the Crane family at one point in their home. So many questions still, many of which likely won't get answered until we can look at that probable cause affidavit. Even then, there is just really no motive or explanation that could satisfy the Crane family and help them make sense at this point of these two senseless murders. Live downtown, Emily Longnecker, Channel 13. Eyewitness News.
It appears that this all stemmed from simply mean looks being given to one another.
Fresno police say dirty looks between two groups of young men led to the deaths of two teenagers and the arrest of two young gunmen. That is our top story tonight, live at 5. Good evening, I'm Nancy Osborne.
And I'm Warren Armstrong. Fresno police are revealing new details about a shooting that left two teenagers dead and two others in jail. 19-year-old Justin Hesketh and his friend, 16-year-old Brandon Moore, were shot on Tuesday. An 18-year-old man and his 16-year-old brother are in custody now and charged with their murders. Police say the shootings were sparked by an exchange of dirty looks at an intersection that led to a foot chase and then gunfire. Action News reporter Gene Hagenson joins us now live from the Fresno County Jail with more information tonight from police. Gene?
That's right, Warren. Fresno's police chief describes this as a senseless tragedy. He said two young men are dead after trying to take the law into their own hands. The two who are accused of killing them are in the Fresno County Jail.
It all started at the intersection of Herndon and Polk in northwest Fresno. Police say 19-year-old Justin Hesketh was in his pickup with his 16-year-old friend Brandon Moore and another teen when four teens led by 18-year-old Gerard Beard walked across the street in front of them. Dirty looks were exchanged, and as Hesketh drove off, police say Gerard Beard fired a shot at the truck. Those in the truck thought a rock was thrown at them. They decided to act.
Justin Hesketh and Brandon Moore got out of the vehicle and began to chase the four suspects that were on foot.
Hesketh and Moore caught up with one member of the group on the grounds of a nearby apartment complex.
They were able to catch him and grab him by the clothing, and they were attempting to hold him when both Jared Beard and his 16-year-old brother, both of them pulled out handguns and began firing at Hesketh and Moore.
7 shots were fired. Justin Hesketh died at the scene. Brandon Moore died later at the hospital. Gerard Beard and his younger brother Jerry ran to a nearby relative's house. Police tracked them down Wednesday night. Police say they found weapons in the house and that both confessed to the shootings. Police Chief Jerry Dyer says both are associated with a West Fresno street gang. He said this incident is a tragic warning of just how dangerous it can be to take the law into your own hands.
The difficulty in doing that is that you never know who you're chasing on foot. You never know who you're confronting. And in this case, these were gang members that were armed with firearms and chose to use those firearms and take the lives of these two young men.
Now, the victims in this incident, Justin Hesketh had been a student at Central East. According to his Facebook page, he was a student now at Fresno State. Brandon Moore was also a student, we believe, at Central East. The Beard brothers are being held on murder charges, even though Jerry Beard is now identified as being 15 years old. He is being charged as an adult. Reporting live from downtown Fresno, Gene Hagenson, ABC 30 Action News.
Now, enough is enough for St. Louis County Police Chief Tim Fitch. After the recent death of an Emo's Pizza delivery driver, police are now beefing up things.
Lindsey Bramson found out that they will be putting officers undercover. They will also be working with pizza delivery shops to find out ways to keep their drivers safe. Lindsey.
That's right, Jasmine. Police have had it. They're done watching innocent people just trying to make an honest living die for no reason. So guess what? The next time a person orders a pizza, it could very well be an undercover police officer. I sat down with Chief Tim Fitch with St. Louis County Police earlier, who is beyond upset over what happened to 39-year-old Brian Johnson. Police say Johnson was delivering a pizza in Delwood when 17-year-old Aaron Rivers shot him, then stole his cell phone and 3 pizzas. It's the second time since May a North St. Louis County man has been killed on the job delivering pizzas. Now, Chief Fitch tells me not only will they have undercover narcotics officers ordering pizzas, but the department is working with all the Imo's pizza places to educate employees on how to stay safe. Monday, officers will go to at least 2 of the North County Imo's and talk with employees. Right now, it's only Imo's, but the chief tells me he wants to do this with all the pizza places. The 17-year-old suspect is one of 4 police say were involved in this plot.
So 17 years old, you steal a man's pizzas, you kill him, you go home and you eat the pizzas and then you go to bed. I can't explain that. I can't explain it. There are evil people in this world and they have to be dealt with, and we're going to do the best we can to keep these drivers safe.
And police say 2 of the other men involved are adults. The 4th, I'm told, is a 15-year-old. Now, so far, they've just been questioned, but I'm told more charges are expected. And as far as the undercover officers, they could be ordering pizzas as soon as this weekend. Reporting live in Clayton, I'm Lindsay Brampton, News 4.
Resentencing delayed for the man convicted of killing UNC student body president Eve Carson. Cheyenne Rodriguez explains who will be a crucial witness.
Lawrence Lovett Jr. is one of 2 men convicted of killing UNC student body president Eve Carson several years ago. They drove her around to ATMs before shooting her. An appeals court ruled his automatic life sentence was unconstitutional because he was 17 at the time, so he will have to be resentenced, bringing up old wounds for Carson's family.
It is wearing on them, but I hope that we get closure, final closure on June 3rd.
Eve's brother was in court for today's hearing. Today, Lovett's attorney successfully argued for a new court date.
The witness we were going to use was Dr. Hilke, who was involved in the Mario McNeil case.
The witness is a psychologist Lovett's attorney says will play a crucial role in his sentencing. His defense team is hoping this next hearing will have a different outcome, but District Attorney Jim Woodall says he doesn't think that'll happen.
We're asking, of course, something less than life without parole. And basically, we're asking for second-degree murder, a set sentence in this case.
It has nothing to do with changing the convictions. It's simply about readdressing the sentencing. In my mind, there's only one sentence in this case, and that's life without parole.
Lovett could still get life without parole. The district attorney here says Eve Carson's family may or may not testify when this next sentencing hearing happens on June 3rd. Outside Orange County Courthouse, Cheyenne Rodriguez, ABC 11 Eyewitness News.
All right, Mr. President, let me ask you about this current case in Florida, very controversial allegations of lingering racism within our society, of the so-called stand your ground law and the justice in that. Can you comment on the Trayvon Martin case, sir?
Well, I'm the head of the executive branch, and the Attorney General reports to me, so I've got to be careful about my statements to make sure that we're not impairing any investigation that's taking place right now. But obviously, this is a tragedy. I can only imagine what these parents are going through. And when I think about this boy, I think about my own kids. And I think every parent in America should be able to understand why it is absolutely imperative that we investigate every aspect of this, and that everybody pulls together, federal, state, and local, to figure out exactly how this tragedy happened. So I'm glad that not only is the Justice Department looking into it, I understand now that the governor of the state of Florida has formed a task force to investigate what's taking place. I think all of us have to do some soul searching to figure out how does something like this happen. And that means that we examine the laws and the context for what happened, as well as the specifics of the incident. But my main message is to the parents of Trayvon Martin. You know, if I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon. And, you know, I think they are right to expect that all of us as Americans are going to take this with the seriousness it deserves, and that we're going to get to the bottom of exactly what happened. All right. Thank you.